All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another setup today, Thursday, 16th of November. Welcome back. As always, looking forward to host you with your morning coffee right now, 8 a.m. EST. Make sure you tune in every single day because I'm here for you to discuss the markets and some potential setups right here. Let's dive right into it, guys. We have very important news coming up. As always, every single Thursday, we have the initial jobless claims coming out. The forecast will be higher than expected, okay? Do take in consideration that over the last couple of weeks already, we've seen an increase in unemployment right here, okay? 3 weeks in a row right now, we have the November 16th coming here. Is it gonna be better or worse for the dollar? We are gonna find out in a second here. I'm gonna bring you and take you to the dollar index because this is extremely important for you for potential scenarios and setups that we're looking at today. One of these setups, guys, we talked about this yesterday. I wanna dive straight into the charts. Don't waste any time here. Is the Nasdaq, okay? We talked about this one yesterday, the day before. We are here. We had the closure we're looking for, okay? So this is where we're gonna trade the Nasdaq. This is where I'm gonna look for shorts right now at the moment. I'm very excited about this particular setup right here, okay? I'll explain exactly why that is. Number one, weekly resistance, okay? We're back at that resistance here at the top. Beautiful. We had a parallel channel to take you a little bit back here. We had a beautiful expansion right now. Absolutely fantastic way to move up over 7% to the upside from that channel onwards. But we have the daily closure right now below here, okay? That's the confirmation I was looking for. So now we're gonna get to work, okay? This is where we were looking for. It's Thursday, and I'll bring you back to how we opened the Monday here, how we eventually came towards this level, how the news came out bullish, and how we ended up here. But very importantly, we are getting rejected currently at the 15,931. Very important level to look at. So 15,931, we created that daily resistance right here. You can see clearly that we're topping out, okay? But to take this a little bit further, there are a couple of charts we need to look at in order for us to fully look for a nice actual trade setup. And from there onwards, we can go back into the charts here to actually execute the trade here. So number one, we have to look at the major stocks, okay? Number one, we have to understand that the Nasdaq, is formulated. It's an index, right? So all the major stocks are, usually the major tech stocks are here. The top 100 tech stocks are formulated into a chart, which is formulated into the index, which we call the Nasdaq exchange right here, okay? So number one, Tesla right here, you can see clearly we're heading now, tapping into resistance right here. This is the daily. We opened bullish. Now we're back at these highs here. So whatever you trade here, supply or demand, or a trend line retest, or a horizontal support right here, from support turning back into resistance, everything right here is coming together for Tesla. So this is extremely important to know for the Nasdaq, the fact that we are now at this particular moment they're getting rejected. Another one, Nvidia, okay? Same thing right here. Exactly the same thing, double top. Right now, we're seeing a rejection here. We're seeing now the same thing, a daily closure below, followed by a second candle, same structure right here, daily closure, potentially below as well here, gives us another indication right there, okay? Last one, guys, Apple. Very importantly, we have this daily range right here, okay? And you guys know I love these daily ranges. We're gonna do it over and over again. We have that consolidation here, we had that expansion, retracement, and boom, continuation. That's the trade setups we're looking for. Always my number one strategy when I'm looking for particular moves in the market. This is what I'm always looking for. But most importantly, right now, as of this particular moment, we're pulling back towards this high, okay? This high right here, the previous high here, which is automatically the value area low. This is where the volume of that range usually increased right here. We already got rejected once. We're now back. It seems like we're getting rejected again here. So when the market opens up today, we will find out if this is enough for us to push us further down. And if that's the case, this is gonna have a huge impact also on the Nasdaq right there, okay? So very importantly, in order to look forward and go to the lower time frames on the Nasdaq here, there is one more chart I would like to show you right now. And that is what we call the volatility index, okay? This is what we call the volatility index. It's kind of based, and built around the S&P 500, it's built around the options exchange. You could see this simply, guys, as a fear and greed index, okay? This is how I look at it. Based upon market structure, I can kind of see what is going on in the overall stock market, how confident people are when investing and trading these particular stocks. Well, clearly, when we had that CPI coming out here, we saw a massive expansion to the upside right here, breaking structure, okay? Keep in mind, we came into daily support, a strong daily area of the month. We held here, we consolidated, and after this high right here created that lower low, we expanded and we broke structure multiple times here. So number one, number two, all in one go here. And rather than coming down right away, we actually are looking quite strong. And I've seen this pattern over and over again with the volatility index, guys. And the moment I see this happening, okay, very importantly, we are building that liquidity. Beautiful trend right here. We're coming down. We create a very clear lower low, followed by an immediate higher high that takes out multiple highs right away. So we have number one, number two, coming into the third zone right here and now consolidating. For me, this is extremely bullish for the volatility index. So if that's the case, volatility increases right here. Usually this goes along with more fear in the market. Therefore, when you see the Nasdaq topping out right now, there is kind of that invert correlation, okay? So take in consideration that when the volatility index goes up, this is not good for the stock market. Combine that with Apple, combine that with all these facets that we have seen before, topping out right now, looking for continuation. I think this is a very, very likely scenario, coming down, continue its momentum, creating some sort of upwards W formation, looking for further continuation to the upside, which will bring potentially the Nasdaq down here. So take that information, put it all together. Let's go back to the Nasdaq here on the 1 hour chart right now to go a little bit deeper into the specific market structure right here, because this is what we're going to do when I'm heading into the trading floor after this right away. I'm waiting for the New York open, coming along here and see how we open the market up here. Very importantly, what I would love to see personally is that we shoot up one more time, okay? We break up, we get rejected again at this particular level, so we continue its momentum. We're trying to push up here back towards these highs right here. We fail internally, let's say on the 5 or 15 minute here, we start to consolidate and break structure to then look for further continuation back to the downside right here. And what is so important right here to mention, guys, is the way we're seeing the Nasdaq moving along a lot here. So number one, we have one tool that we use right here. I hope you guys can see it. Right there, it's called the Sunday Open, okay? Put it into your indicator list. Very simple. It shows you exactly where the market opened up here. So number one, the Sunday Open. We highlight the Sunday Open here for you guys. Right there, this is where the market opened up here, okay? You see that line? Beautiful. Okay, let's go through it real quick, all right? So Monday, bearish, right? We opened up on a Sunday here in the United States, Monday, Europe, and so on here. We opened bearish. We started to recover. We had some resistance here until the news came out and we smashed through it on a Tuesday, okay? So there we go. Tuesday, reversal day. So Monday, bearish, usually leading people into the wrong direction. Tuesday, reversal day, coming up here. Wednesday, eventually creating, heading into resistance here, topping out. Thursday could be again what we're looking at, another potential reversal day here, or another manipulation at least, back up to potentially come down here all the way back as much as possible, back to the Sunday Open on a Friday. So this is kind of what we have been seeing a lot on the Nasdaq when the market structure and the price action is very healthy. And this is a great example, guys. And this is what we're actually seeing right now. So therefore, for that particular reason, I'm very interested in trading the Nasdaq, looking for shorts in the next coming hours, especially when the market opens up here. So I'm very curious how this operates. But so far, so good with the Nasdaq, guys. All right, take that into consideration here. Now let's dive into the dollar. Okay, we have some news coming for the dollar. You guys know it here. So within, let's say, an hour or so, or I need to check it here, 20 minutes already, we know exactly what will happen here with the news. But it's important to mention that we have been extremely bearish, okay? We expected all of this to happen right there, right? We had that consolidation, expansion, trades, continuation down with the CPI coming out bearish, leading in towards that potential, support right here below here. However, this pullback does not mean that we're now suddenly bullish, guys, okay? Take that in consideration for the dollar. We are trying to pull up. but at the same time, we are starting to face the daily resistance right now, okay? Look at this low here and look at this particular retest right now. We have difficulties already breaking up and coming back up along here. Even if we would come up here, we would right away go into the next layer of resistance, which will already be at around 104.9, 105. But my doubts will be if we actually are going to break it. So we will find out with the news if it's bullish or if it's going to be bearish for the dollar here. Keep a very close eye on the news. I think the news will give us more information as when this actually happens here. So when the news comes out, we will see if we're actually going to reverse and flip this candle bearish. If that's the case, I definitely think we're going to lead into continuation back further down towards this low, which we talked about yesterday, the 103.4, okay? If it's bullish, I want to see at least a nice closure above here to lead into continuation on a Friday, okay? So that's the dollar here. Now let's go over gold. We have been talking about gold as well here. I was already talking about it yesterday, looking potentially for an entry setup at 1953, putting my stop loss at 1941, leading in towards the 2005. This is still in the picture, guys. We almost got triggered into our position here earlier. Did not happen here. Potentially, we're still looking for more downside potential. But overall, I am still very bullish here on gold here. I do not take the actual correlation with the dollar now extremely serious at this particular moment. And the reason why is because there are a lot of things happening in the world. The commodities are blowing up. The seasonality, everything is happening here. And we already had a pretty decent correction for gold after that major run up at the beginning of the month here, guys. Okay, so waiting for that pullback one more time here. If we pull back all the way, fantastic. If not, I will look for further continuation, which will be a break of structure, followed by a pullback, followed by another retest. Still looking for the 2005 here for gold here. So with that in mind, guys, let's continue now to some forex pairs, because we have been talking about the indices. We have been talking about some commodities as well. Oil yesterday is going to be very interesting, guys. So we're going to go back to oil later. But for now, let's go a little bit into forex here, guys. We have one chart that I like to show you, which is very interesting. And that is the Japanese yen basket. Okay, we have been talking about the yen a lot. Man, the yen gets absolutely destroyed. We all know why, right? They're not increasing their interest rates. They have a very unique monetary policy. You have seen it before with the dollar, euro, the GBP. They're all following each other along here. When the Feds are increasing these interest rates, usually the euro is following up right away, following what the Federal Reserve is doing, where the yen is actually doing their own thing. They actually really focus on consumer spending rather than increasing their interest rates, which is great for the internal economy, but for export and import, this is not that good, guys. So the yen gets absolutely destroyed here, but the yen also tends to recover very quickly. And I think that move is yet to come very soon, guys, okay? So what I'm looking for right here is the following. We have seen this range, okay, very clear range here. Usually I'm kind of like, okay, consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation. I was interested in that, however, we did not see that, okay? Whenever I see this happening, guys, and this is very important here, okay? Whenever I see that consolidation, that expansion, retracement, continuation, and we fail to break this low, and we're creating kind of that, you know, W formation right here, I do believe that this is a sign of strength for the yen in the very short term. We're looking at the 15 minutes right now. So for that particular reason, I do believe that we can make a move back to the upside here, potentially coming back to that higher range. If you guys can see it right there, that higher range a little bit up higher at around 6,600, okay? That's this range right here. So we have some move potentially to make here for the yen. I've seen this over and over again. When the yen recovered, it happens quickly. It's an aggressive move, usually. So hopefully we're going to see it happening. We're already seeing it breaking right now, guys. So as you guys can see here, this was previous support that turned into resistance. That consolidation, expansion, retracement doesn't always work because we didn't break the lows here. Rather that we came back again and now we're breaking above it. So I'm leading into continuation, at least manipulating and taking out these highs right there. So this is the yen basket, okay? This represents the strength of the Japanese yen. So this is not particularly a forex pair, However, it's an amazing indication, okay? So if you are new to Forex right now, I think a lot of guys that are coming on the live streams already know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you are new and you want to learn more about this, I have a list for you. I'm going to share this later on in our Discord. So if you want to join our Discord, you want to get access to that list here, which are all these indices that are representing the strength of each individual currency with a little explanation. Click on the link in the description. Join our Discord right here, right now. All right. But we have all these other ones right here. We have the dollar index, the Australian dollar index, the British pound index, you name it, it's all there. So if the yen basket potentially can look a little stronger right now in the 15-minute, then the only thing that we have to do is to go to the other ones and to see what is happening there, okay? And I found something very, very special right now. Look at the euro, okay? Euro is looking strong, okay? Keep that in mind, looking strong. However, we are now facing this particular weekly resistance, okay? We are heading towards this particular high right here, which have been providing us with resistance already for a while. So this is number one, number two, and potentially now we will see this happening again. That's the question. Are we gonna see that weekly resistance? We are already now hitting that resistance right here. Are we gonna react potentially from it? That's the only thing that we're looking for, okay? A reaction. I'm not saying that we're gonna flip from here and that we're gonna look extremely bearish after that, that the euro is gonna come down. No, if you are a day trader, then the only thing sometimes that you're looking for on the higher time frame is a simple reaction from a level. You don't have to overcomplicate it. That's how we look at it, okay? So in this case, we are seeing that reaction. We have seen pretty decent closure yesterday, but today is potentially where we could see a flip here. So let's zoom in a little bit. Very importantly to the euro index, come back right here. And we're looking now at the 1056. Look at how this candle is already flipping here, okay? This is usually not looking that good. We have a nice also gap right here, okay? So combine that, potentially flipping. I do think that there is a chance it could come back down to retest this particular zone, which will be roughly at around the 1050 for the euro index. So, basic math, guys, okay? 1 + 1 is 2, right? Japanese yen basket looking quite strong. We have just seen it right here on the 15-minute, okay? The euro index potentially right now reaching weekly resistance. Where do we want to go? The euro against the Japanese yen. Exactly, okay? So that's what we're looking for. And look at where we are right now with the euro against the Japanese yen here. Look at this high and look at where we are, okay? Yes, like I said, we're looking very strong. That's no discussion here. What is interesting though, is the fact that this is on the monthly time frame, okay? We're coming back towards these highs right now, topping out all the way, and it took a while for it to get there, okay? You guys know how it goes. Look at this, guys. The last time we had that high here was the 1st of August. I'm sure you guys can see, to the 1st of August 2006, okay? Do take that into consideration. That's a long time ago, before we had that major expansion back to the downside here. We came back up, came back down, and now we're finally back at that high here, okay? Again, if you are a day trader, I will get here right now, okay? Let's go to the hourly chart, and this is where things are getting extremely interesting. So look at that right now, okay? You know what's happening with the yen basket. We have seen it here. You know where the euro index is at. You know that the euro against the yen on the higher time frame is potentially in a very interesting zone. So what are we looking for right now in order to execute the potential trade setup right here? Internal market structure, okay? So the 1 hour chart is where we're at right now at this particular moment. This is absolutely fantastic. So what we're looking for is a higher high followed by a lower low, okay? So again, one more time, a higher high followed by a lower low, okay? This is the higher high. We have created a higher high. We now want to see a lower low. So if we close this hourly candle below right here, it's going to get extremely interesting for you within the next coming hours right here ahead of us, especially during the New York Stock Exchange Open, okay? The yen usually responds to that as well, especially if the dollar makes a decent move here around the news and everything that's coming in a second tier. But if we break structure, guys, this is where I want to see us trading the euro against the yen short right there, okay? This on a 1 hour time frame. We could take this even to the 15-minute or lower, if you want to look for precise entries. This is completely up to you here. But look at how we are looking potentially at a break of structure right now. Looking at the low, looking at the high has manipulated the low. If this higher high creates a lower low, then what we want to see is potentially a continuation back towards these lows right here. You could find them at 163.3, or again, one more time, a potential lower low, but followed by a lower high, followed by a continuation to the downside, creating, you know, some sort of head and shoulders right here, continuing its momentum to the downside in the very, very short term. So the euro against the yen is looking extremely interesting here. So keep a very close eye on this pair, especially within the next hour or so, the next 2 hours. This is something that I'm very interested in, okay? So the Nasdaq, #1, and the euro against the yen for today on this Thursday, right here, okay? Now let's do a little crypto as well here. I think it's always important to take the crypto market with us. We're seeing some very interesting stuff happening. At this particular moment, the Bitcoin price is now still at $37,000 here. We have still not been able to break this particular high, but this is not really where, in my opinion, right now the magic happens. What I'm personally looking for is the following chart here. So if you are an investor in the cryptocurrency market, or you are just a trader, then look at this, all right? There are tons of other ways you can potentially trade the markets here, and that's also by owning, for example, some Ethereum or Bitcoin and trying to play within, okay? So you try to trade Ethereum against Bitcoin or Bitcoin against Ethereum in order to accumulate more Bitcoin right here. And this is something that's very interesting right now. This is something that I'm gonna do here, okay? And that is potentially a higher high. So #1, this is why we love technical analysis, okay? This is the Ethereum against the Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame, creating a massive expansion. I wanna see us creating right now a potential higher low. Then this is where I'm gonna sell some, Bitcoin for Ethereum, okay? I do believe that the Ethereum right now is ready for a run up rather than Bitcoin as well here. Bitcoin might come up as well if new money comes into the market. But I do believe that I think that the euro dominance, or sorry, the Ethereum dominance will actually take over a little bit here, okay? So I'm gonna sell some of my some of my Bitcoin for Ethereum, and I'm looking for further continuation to the upside. And then once we're back at resistance, I'm gonna sell my Ethereum back into Bitcoin right here to play with my portfolio right there, guys. So that's very important. Now there is another chart right here to mention on the weekly or the monthly, whatever you want to look at it, and that is the total tree, okay? This is the total market cap right here, the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? So what's so important about this chart here is that we're right now at $460 billion right here. So all these altcoins we've been talking about here, this is now looking very interesting. So look at how we are creating this beautiful monthly W structure right here. If we see that monthly closure, which happens in around 2 weeks from now, right here above this particular zone, then I do believe that we could see potentially a strong increase in momentum for the total tree market, okay? That means that altcoins are gonna absolutely fly here. So because of that, Tim, some guys in our community right here, right now, are gonna absolutely focus a lot on these type of trades. I want to do a big shout out to Trader Tim right here. If you want to get access to our free signals that are going to come up here, these are going to be trades, but these are also going to be investment for potential scenarios that you could add to your portfolio here. Some medium risk, low risk, and high risk potential setups here. Then sign up to our crypto VIP also in our Discord for free. Follow the instructions and you will find it right there. Okay. Last chart I would like to check out with you guys here is oil. Okay, and we said yesterday that the oil chart is something that I do not want to trade if we're pulling back right now. And look what happened, okay? We did what we had to do. Okay, #1, taking the trade here from this breakout. We said if we break and close an hourly candle above this level right here at around $78 a barrel, then I want to see it coming to the $80. Okay, that happened. Beautiful. Came to the $80, TP hit, fantastic, made some money. All good, beautiful. But then, after that, we came back, okay? And from that moment, we could decide, okay, should we go into a new long? And I said, no, I don't want to go into a new long right now. I want to see it coming down first. And this is what happened, guys. Okay, we broke down completely, and we're now manipulating the lows right here. So we had all that sell side liquidity built up here, and now we're taking this out, okay? So a lot of stop losses were still below that level. Now we're taking out these particular lows here. So this is fantastic. This is what we actually wanted to see. So the next step right now for oil is gonna be a potential move back towards the $74.725 a barrel. If we touch that level right here, which is gonna be daily support, okay? Let's zoom out a little bit more. Then you know what I'm talking about exactly. It's gonna be the highs of this particular range, all right? That's the range I'm personally looking at to look and add on to my swing trade position. I'm very bullish at oil in the medium long term here. So I'm looking to stack onto my position if we come back towards the $74.25. Horizontal support, a nice particular low as well. If you take the Fibonacci here, we're gonna end up within the 70.5 range, as well as we have some trend line support. So a lot of confluences are coming together here, and I do see us having tremendous potential in oil, guys, but you have to be patient for this one. Our day trade already has been executed this week, so now it's time to wait for price to come down a bit more to see if we can take this here. Keep in mind, it's always a probability. You know, you're never gonna win, you're never gonna lose every single trade either. We're playing the probability game in trading. Risk management is where it's about to. So the way we're gonna enter these particular big swing trade positions is by scaling in and scaling out of a trade slowly but steady. So I'm never gonna add on to my position right away and risk 50% of my portfolio. That's not how it works, guys. I'm gonna stack in 1 or 2%, boom, wait for a confirmation, come back, retest, see if the structure changes, add on to my position, okay? That's the way I'm gonna play around with these swing trade opportunities here. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you guys like what we do here. The Nasdaq, the euro against the yen here. Keep a very close eye on this one for today. I'm very excited. I'm gonna head into the V3 trading floor right now with the family. If you wanna join us, join our Discord right here, right now. I'm very happy to see you here. I'm gonna drop some bombs every single day. Make sure that you are completely updated. I wanna see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp, morning coffee, ready for some new setups. Friday closure. I'm very excited. Peace out, guys. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Bye-bye.